Okay, next topic is about plane waves in a free space. In this case, the condition is going to be in a free space. There will be no any medium for this. For this, the conductivity of current will be zero. Sigma is going to be equals to zero only. Then epsilon naught is going to be equals to epsilon is going to be equals to epsilon naught only. This you will be knowing how you will be taking the values of this. Then mu is going to be equals to mu naught. Then therefore alpha, when I substitute these values in alpha and beta, then I'll be getting alpha is going to be equals to 0 and beta is going to be omega square root of mu naught epsilon naught, that is nothing but w by omega by c. There then the speed or velocity u is going to be 1 divided by square root of mu naught epsilon naught, that is equals to the c again, and lambda is going to be equals to 2 pi by beta. What is this c? It's going to be the way c is the speed of the light in a vacuum. The value of c is you already know, that is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. Then the fact that EM waves travel in free space at the speed of the light is significant. It provides some evidence that light is the manifestation of an EM wave. Means it's giving a clear identity for our EM waves. The speed of light as it is moving, our EM wave, electromagnetic waves also moving in such a speed from one space to the another space. For example, if I take your mobile phones nowadays, what will be using? Are we going in a previous case? There was a cable where you are going to transmit your information from one place to another place. Nowadays, what it's going for, I'm taking a class for you, it's through online, right? Again, for your calling or any of the operations what we are nowadays doing, it's all based on the what's the information, it is in terms of electromagnetic waves only. Whatever the information it's passing through the online, we are telling the name as online, but the waves are moving from one place to the another place through any. Here we don't have any medium, that any cable or any information, just in a free space it will be information, it will be moving from one place to another place based on IP addresses. It will come in your CS branch, we will not bother about that, but we will be focusing our EM waves, that is electromagnetic waves, where the speed what it's going to. I am taking a class, but you're listening the class, and also the information what I am going to be transmitting, it is in a faster way. You are able to gain that knowledge or any information, any of the message call, anything which we are going to be taking, this all happening because of our electromagnetic waves only. That's what here it is telling. The light is a clearly defines, that's what the meaning of manifestation of an EM wave. In other words, a light is a characteristically a electromagnetic wave only. That's what the meaning here. Next, for theta in terms of angle, eta is going to be equals to 0. These equations already be taken. If we substitute the values there, you'll be getting here as 0. Then eta is going to be equals to eta naught, where eta naught is called as an intrinsic impedance of the free space and is given by eta naught is going to be equals to square root of mu naught divided by epsilon naught. If I put the values for here, and we'll be getting as 120 pi, or else it's nearly 377 ohms. Then the equation for our electric field intensity, that is going to be E is going to be equals to E naught cos omega t minus beta z ax. In a x direction it will be moving. And for the magnetic field intensity, that is H is going to be equals to H naught cos omega t minus beta z into ay. The way our magnetic field it's moving in a y direction, that is nothing but E naught divided by mu naught cos omega t minus beta z into ay only. Then the plot of E and H, here it is shown in figure. The here the was a wave it is passing, it is for electric field intensity. Then this wave what's going for, this is for a magnetic field intensity, that is E and H. Here just you observe here only the phase we considered, right? this will be indicating a phase constant. Beta is nothing but a phase constant. Those all things we learned in the previously. E naught cos minus beta z in the x direction. Here it will be in the y direction. If you just observe the figure, the for electric field intensity in this direction, but when it comes for our magnetic field, the direction is in this. Here it is y, x, y, and z direction. Here the changes. What's going to be? It's tilted by some angle, right? That's what a difference for E and H. You should not draw directly. A small tilt you should show when it is coming here. Okay, this is for in terms of phase, in terms of magnitude. E naught cos omega t ax in the x direction, in the y direction our magnetic field. The what it is showing here, the same thing the figures are representing. Then in general, unit vectors of AE for electric field and also for the magnetic field, and AK are unit vectors along EH field, and another AK is taken as the direction of the wave propagation. AK is nothing but the direction of the wave in which way it is will be moving. Then AK cross AE is going to be AH, the which the other term is going to be that you have to take here. Then AK cross AH is going to be minus AE. Then AE cross AH is going to be AK. Both E and H fields, that is EM waves, are everywhere normal to the direction of the wave propagation, that is in direction of the AK only. That means that the fields lie in a plane that transfers or else a orthogonal to the direction of the wave propagation. Whatever the E and H fields it's be moving, it is orthogonal or transverse in the direction of the wave propagation. Next, they form an EM wave that has no electric or magnetic field components along the direction of the propagation, where it is not having electric or magnetic field components. Then that wave is called as transverse electromagnetic wave. That is TEM. We call transverse electromagnetic wave. The combination of E and H is called as a uniform wave because E or H has the same magnitude throughout any transfer plane defined by Z as a constant. In Z as a constant, where X and Y are going to be varying. That's why we are calling E and H are of a uniform plane waves. Then the direction in which the electric field field points is the polarization of an TEM wave. The polarization is it will be having a different characteristics of any of the wave, in which direction it will be moving. What is the polarization? P in the previous case we taken a P factor, right? That P is nothing but a polarization. This is not included in syllabus. How it is going to be taking, how a polarization affects, in which direction it will be moving of a waves. Those are will not going to be during of, just you remember it is the field direction. It will be in terms of based on a polarization method. Then a uniform plane wave cannot exist physically. Is there any physical quantity? Is there? Are you able to see the information what I am telling in your words? Is that moving? No. It's just passing through a medium, that is in terms of air. Physically, because it stretches to the infinity. That's what the meaning. Due to this, based on this property only, whatever the information will be passing through the online, it will be reaching at the definite destination. The address, what will be going for in terms of IP address we tell, it will be in the infinity manner. If you are, how many are connected here? If I just go through hardly 10 members connected, means the whatever the information I am passing, it will be reaching to the all 10. If it is connected to 100, all are able to access the information from one place to another place. That's what it is stretches. The whatever the information is going to be, it will be stretching to the infinity level. That's what the meaning here, and would represent an infinite energy. That's what the signal, it is having an infinite energy that can carry throughout the space where we are going, taking. Some are sitting here, some are sitting in far distances. If you are someone sitting in a Bangalore or in someone sitting in a anywhere, you are able to get that information. That's what the meaning. Such waves are characteristically simple and fundamentally it is very important for us. Then they serve an approximation to practical waves such as those from a radio antennas. The example here it is taken as a radio antennas at distances sufficiently far from the radiating source. The radio information, if you are able to hear FM, right, you'll be enjoying your music, whatever the entertainment things, what is going to happening. The person who is sitting in one place, but he is able to give the information for far distance. It depends on how many frequency levels we will be fixing. For up to that distance, the person can access that information. That's what the meaning here. This is all about plane waves in a free space. Just you have to remember alpha equation, beta equation, and about a basic formulas what we learned already. Then about our E naught, eta naught. Then about electric field intensity and also about magnetic field intensity. Draw the diagram. Go on explaining the theory part. This is about the in a free space. Next, if we come with the good conductors, the good conductors way it's flowing, the conductivity will be more. Good conductors means your silver or any of the copper, whatever things you will be taking. These are all the materials where it is conducting our current in a faster rate compared with the other materials what we will be going to be using. In such good conductors, how we can transfer the information? That's what a small derivation here is there. How we take in the dielectrics, here also the same. A perfect or a good conductor is one which is having, that is conductivity is much greater than omega f long. That is with the frequency. In terms of frequency we are telling. So that the sigma divided by omega f long is greater than 1. Based on this, if we substitute this condition in the equations what we taken, that is about conductivity is in a good conductors, it will be, of course it will be infinity. Then about mu is going to be equals to, it depends on the free space and also with the which medium you are going for that reason mu naught and mu r. Then our alpha beta gamma equations are going to be alpha is equals to, what you have to do, we already in the previous, when a lossy medium if I take a alpha beta equations taken, in that you have to substitute the sigma and also with the mu equation. Then if you derive that, you will be getting this equation, that is alpha is equals to beta is equals to square root of omega mu sigma divided by 2, that is nothing but square root of pi f mu into sigma. Then our velocity or else the speed, u is, you can take any in some textbook velocity that they call in some speed, but both will be same terms. Then u is equals to omega by beta, that is equals to square root of 2 omega divided by mu sigma. Then wavelength is going to be 2 pi by beta only. Take this equation 1 and 2. Then our eta equation is going to be now j omega square root of j omega mu divided by sigma, that is equals to square root of omega mu divided by sigma with an angle of 45 degrees. What it is giving the information about 45 degrees. We already completed in the previous cases that our E and H, it may lead or it may lag. In this case, it's going to be E field, electric field intensity field, leads by a magnetic field by an 45 degrees. Then eta is an complex quantity. We already, that is alpha in plus j beta, we taken that complex quantity, and it is defined as the, here in this case what is going to be defining, observe here, surface impedance. In the previous case intrinsic impedance, here it is going to be surface impedance for the good conductor. It depends, in a dielectric it will be different, in a free space it is different, and in this case it is of surface impedance. Then of the equation for your electric field and magnetic field intensity is going to be, it is almost the same what we take and what we derived in the previous, that is E is going to be equals to E naught e raised to minus alpha z cos omega t minus beta z into ax Then for H is going to be E naught divided by, here it will be changing, that is square root of omega mu divided by sigma, the into e raised to minus alpha z cos omega t minus beta z minus 45 degrees, because it is leading here. Then ay. Therefore, our E or magnetic field or electric field wave travels in a conducting medium and its amplitude is attenuated. We already came to know how it is going to be attenuating. It is decreasing a wave in wave signal, right? Attenuated by the factor of e raised to this much, that is e raised to minus alpha z. Then the distance delta in this figure, observe here, the space between one peak to the another peak is taken as a delta. What is this shown in figure? Through which the wave amplitude decreases. Observe here, the amplitude, it is going to be decreases to a factor e raised to minus 1 times, about 35% of the original value. Observe here, 0.368 of E naught. That many times it is going to be decreasing. Is called as skin depth or else penetration depth of the medium. The delta is nothing but the skin depth or else a penetration depth. How much it is going to be decreasing, because it's a conducting medium. Our information is going on decaying, means it will be reducing its information. Again, we will be using of repeaters when we are going to transfer the information, even though in a good conductor. That we will be learning in a different fields in a different ways. But just you remember here, the delta is the where how it is going to be, how many times it is decreasing. E raised to minus 1 times is nothing but 37% of the original value, and it is called as delta is called as skin depth. Then E naught is going to be equal, E naught into e raised to alpha delta is going to be equals to E naught e raised to minus 1 times. Therefore, when I solve for this, I'll be getting delta as 1 by alpha. This equation is important. They taken that equation with the number 5. Then the skin depth is a measure of the depth in which the EM wave can penetrate in the medium. The information what it is going to be giving for us from the skin depth, it is the measure of the depth with how much depth it's going to be. Information I can pass through that cable, depth to which the EM wave can propagate, can penetrate means propagate from one place to another place, or else the based on the how many meters we are going to be taking of that cable in the medium. Then equation 5, what it is taken is generally valid for material medium, which material if you are going for. For the good conductors, delta is going to be equals to 1 divided by square root of pi f mu into sigma, that is nothing but 1 by alpha. For partially conducting medium, partially conduct means somewhat it can flow. In such cases, the skin depth can quite be somewhat large compared to the previous one. For good conductors, eta is going to be 1 divided by sigma of delta into square root of 2 e raised to j pi by 4. If I solve for this, I will be getting as 1 plus j divided by sigma delta. Then for good conductors, alpha is going to be equals to beta, that is nothing but 1 divided by alpha. Based on this, we can write here. Then based on alpha beta equation, field intensity is going to be E is equals to E naught e power minus j, instead of alpha I can write as delta cos omega t minus z divided by, instead of beta I can write as 1 by delta. That's what here it is changed, ax. Then delta measures the exponentially decreasing exponentially damping of the wave as it travels through the conductor. It's a decreasing value. Then the skin depth in a copper, in a copper material if I am going to be using at various frequencies is shown in table. Observe here, this is a table actually. You can draw the table here. Frequency with 10, the skin depth value is going to be in like 20.8, 68.6, then 106.6. It's going on, and at last 10 raised to 10, it's going to be 6.6 into 10 raised to minus 14. For copper, the conductivity is of 5.8 into 10 raised to 7 specimen per meter. Then mu is going to be equals to mu naught, and delta value in this case is going to be 66.1 into square root of the frequency of that in millimeter only. From the table, what it is observed that the skin depth is going on decreasing as the frequency is going on increasing. That's what from the table we observe. Then thus the E and H can hardly, observe here, it is very difficult to pass the signal of electric field or magnetic field information in the good conductors as the frequency is going on increasing. That's what the thing. That's why we will not be using of any of the good conductors to pass the information. Then observe, this is very important definition. The phenomenon whereby field intensity in a conductor rapidly decreases is known as the skin effect. The intensity, field intensity is going on decreasing based on the conductors is called as the skin effect. This is nothing but a skin effect. Then it is the tendency of charges to migrate, switch over, we call that, from the bulk of the conducting material to the surface. Then resulting is of a higher resistance, because due to this the information is going on decreasing, so that it's not going to be passing any of the information from one place to the another place. It's like current will be flowing in that, but the information what will be sending, it's not flowing, so it acts as a resistance for the information. That's why here it is taken as high resistance. Then the fields and associated currents are confined to a very thin layer, or as the name is the skin of the conductor surface. For a wire of radius a, it's just it's like a cable, but it's like a wire with a radius is taken as a, radius a for example, and it is a good approximation at high frequencies to assume that all the current flows in a circular ring. Whatever the current it will be flowing, it will can flow through this wire. That's what, circular ring of thickness delta. Sorry, in this case the current will be moving in this case in a delta. Then the skin effect appears in different gases, means in which way it is moving from one place to another place. In such problems as attenuation, in some of the example here, attenuation in a waveguide, and effect are AC resistance of in transmission lines and electromagnetic shielding. These are some examples of our skin effect, and it is used to advantage in many applications, such as skin depth in a silver is very small. In silver case, its skin depth is very small. For that reason, the difference in performance between a pure silver component and a silver plated brass component is negligible. So silver plating is oftenly used to reduce the material cost. In such applications, we'll be using of our skin effect waveguide component. Then for same reasons, based on this only, hollow tubular conductors are going to be used instead of solid conductors in outdoor television antennas. The antennas what's going to be used, the tubes what it's going for, the steel like structure in the previous case was there. Nowadays will not be using of that. Always all are in terms of online only. The hollow tubes what's taken, okay, instead of solid will be in a space will be there in the tubes of that antennas what will be taken. That's what the one more application in a silver plating, and also in terms of a halo tubes we'll be using of our skinning effect. Then effective electromagnetic shielding of electrical devices can be provided by conductive enclosures a few skin depths of thickness. A shielding we call when information is passing in terms of electrical signal, there will be using of a shielding process of the cable. That's what here. Then the skin depth is useful in calculating the AC resistance due to skin effect. The resistance is called as the DC resistance. RDC is going to be equals to L divided by sigma of S, where the surface or skin resistance RS in ohms as a real part of the eta. For a good conductor, RS is going to be taken as 1 divided by sigma delta, that is going to be equals to square root of pi f mu divided by sigma. Then this is the resistance of a unit width and unit length of the conductor, and it is equivalent to the DC resistance for the unit length of the conductor having cross-sectional area of 1 into delta. Then thus for a given width W omega, width will be W only, and length L, the AC resistance is calculated by using the DC resistance and assuming that a uniform current will be flowing in the conductor of thickness delta. That is RAC is going to be equals to L divided by sigma delta of omega. That is nothing but RS L divided by, here it is will be in terms of width only, for that reason you can call as W only. RS L divided by W. Then where S is going to be the surface delta of W for the conductor wire of a radius A, then omega is going to be 2 pi A. Then RAC to RDC is going to be L divided by sigma 2 pi A delta divided by L divided by sigma pi A square. That if I solve for this, I will be getting as A divided by 2 delta, that is nothing but A divided by 2 into square root of pi f mu into sigma. This equation is very important. Then this equation you have to remember. Since a delta is very less than A at high frequencies, this shows that RAC is far greater than RDC. Means resistance of AC is greater than RDC based on the frequency. It depends on the frequency. In general, the ratio of AC to DC resistance starts from 1 for DC and very at low very frequency and increases as the frequency it is going on increasing. The bulk of the current is non-uniform distributed over a thickness of 5 delta of the conductor. Then the power loss in the conductor is same as that of where the uniformly distributed over thickness of delta, and it will be 0 for other cases. So delta is referred as the, in this case, as skin depth. Based on these reasons, we will be calling delta is as a skin depth. It's like a gold plating, how will be going for your ornaments. The same thing is going to be happening for our cables. When you cut the cable, it will be having different rounds. In that, the same thing here it is going to be taken. I hope you got or not, I don't know. The cable, if I cut in a cross sectional, it will be having different cross sections in it. In that, how a current will be flowing based on the delta factor, it propagating our information. The reflective in a electro waveguides means the information when it is started passing through it, it will be reflecting in a surface medium within the cable. Based on this, whether it is which material you are going to be using for that cable, whether it is of a electrostatic or a free space or else a good conductor. Based on these three categories, will be when a electromagnetic wave, if it is passed, or else the information what will be passing, how it will be reaching to that from one place to the another place. That's what the main criteria. The basic thing what we'll be learning, that is about EM waves. That's it. When you go for the higher semesters, higher applications in your communication system, in an electrical field we will not be using of these things. In communication system will be in detail, we'll be learning how the cable, how the waveguides will be propagating, what are the factors it will be affecting when it is moving from one the distance, how much the meter cable you are going to be using of that. Based on such parameters and some of the characteristics, we'll be learning of those things. For now it will be enough. Just you remember the equations, how it is going to be taken, and some of the examples where it is going to be used. This is about our skin effect, or else the waves in a good conductors and also in a free space.